Spotlight a pair of women leaders who share the progress of the last 100 years they believe should be celebrated, and the barriers still remain. Welcome back to a special Women's History Month episode of Capital Tonight. Our Mary Helen Jones sat down with two women leaders in our state for a wide-ranging conversation about their backgrounds, persistent wage gap barriers, and how one of them is taking the pay equity issue into their own hands.
Can you talk about your background, your experiences, and how they led you and impacted your work today?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me here. Sure. So some things I sometimes say is that I stayed in school so long until I became a professor. So I started out my educational career. I earned a bachelor's degree in English and literature and a minor in women's and gender studies. And then I went on and pursued a doctorate in, again, literature with graduate minors in Latinx studies and what was called feminist studies at that university. So my career has been as an academic, and I work in between the fields of literature, Latinx studies, and women's and gender studies. And I had the opportunity to move to UNC about 12, 13 years ago, and I've been chairing the department since 2020. So my academic background and my experience teaching in the classroom is what prepared me for this job. And my passion and my interest in questions of equality, privilege, oppression, and social justice is what has inspired me all along.
Being in community, you become to appreciate the lived experience, expertise of those that are around you that have faced inequities and survived. So when I think about the work that I do, it was like the stories of the energy with Nikki Giovanni and the civic engagement that she did and the social justice work that she was advocating for. We were able to capture that. She was in our campaign and really had some time to spend with her in unlocking what her brilliance is. And it's the wisdom and nuggets from people like her and then Dr. Angela Davis. We've had great encounters with her, and we have her in the campaign. And when we asked her what makes her brilliant, her response was, it's the people around me. So that wisdom and knowledge and from seasoning people that have been in this work, advocating on the front lines for much longer than me, inspired me to know that they're an example of what's possible, and I too can be able to be what's possible for someone else, a future generation, or the younger women that are coming behind me.
What kind of opportunities do you feel we have now in this year of 2024, and what are we still missing?
I think within the field of education, we have certainly many more opportunities than we would have seen 100 years ago, 50, 60 years ago across the board in terms of who's attending higher education. There are still a lot of barriers. I think that the Supreme Court decision that struck down race-based admissions is going to be extremely detrimental to the diversity of higher education and the kinds of opportunities for different people to attend college. So we do still see, unfortunately, barriers at the local and national level. And I do think that, so while there are certainly increased opportunities, we still do see a lot of attitudes towards where different groups of people are sort of pushed in terms of who is pushed into STEM fields versus who's pushed into fields that are more traditionally occupied by women. And of course, I can't not mention the wage gap, which is still very prevalent and can be broken down not just by gender, but also by race and ethnicity. So we know that earning potential is not equitable across the board.
And you are the founder of BlackGirlMagic.Market. Can you talk to me about what that is and what that work is that you're doing through that program?
Absolutely. So Black Girl Magic Market was founded out of necessity of creating a space where economic development for pay equity and gender equity could be able to be amplified in a way that really made it practical. And so we created a resource hub for Black women, entrepreneurs, and manufacturers of goods and services to get the tools, resources, and support they needed to build their capacity, not only as entrepreneurs, but also the other hats that they were holding with civic engagement and being a mom and family leader. And so Black Girl Magic Market has been operating for 7 years. We do pop-ups. It works on retail development to help them envision. And also I'm in partnership with organizations like NASDAQ, Entrepreneurship Center. I serve as a mentor. And so in those instances, I'm really sharing my lived experience as an entrepreneur and navigating the things that I had to break through, and then also helping them navigate what that could look like for them to be successful as well. And so Black Girl Magic Market kind of reimagines what's possible for Black women in entrepreneurship, but it also benefits everyone that they're connected to because this information is accessible and available for all women.
How are you feeling in this month of celebrating, looking at women? How are you feeling?
You know, I find myself honestly holding tension in life-giving ways. Holding this banner to lift this month as a month that we should be celebrated, and at the same time, it's like, but behind the scenes, just to say you appreciate someone is one thing, but show me better than you can tell me. Let's see some policies, some opportunities to really transform what our future looks like versus making it 1 month that we just acknowledge some people that did some incredible things when there's so much more in policy that we need to be able to sanctify and certify our place in society.
And how are you looking at this month and this year?
I appreciate your answer, really, because I have to say that I'm really devastated by a lot of things that continue to go on in this world. I'm devastated by the state of women's access, all people's access to reproductive health care in this country. I am devastated by the ongoing bombardment of Gaza by Israel, and so many things that we think about. Whose lives are these policies really improving, and whose lives are these actions improving? And we need to think about the plurality of people that are being impacted. And so while it's wonderful to celebrate achievements, I have to say that there is still a lot of work to be done.
Special thanks to Mary Helen and all the powerful women leaders who sat down with us for tonight's episode. That's going to do it for us tonight. As always, if it's on Jones Street or Main Street, you will find it right here in Capitol tonight. Stay safe, look after each other. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.